What if being unapologetically me is exactly what sets someone else free? I'm your host, Melinda Dawn, and I have a crown on my head for those of you who are listening to this podcast on anything other than Spotify, because Spotify has video, and this in fact is a video. So this morning I took my kids to school and I had this crown on my head. So it's my daughter's, of course, and I saw it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wear it. And I was reminded of my friend that I went out of town with recently for a girls' retreat, healing retreat, and she brought a crown with her. And there were a couple of days where she wore it and she was just so lit up when she did. She was stepping into her feminine. She was stepping into her goddess, her empress, and it was beautiful to behold her in that way. It was really beautiful. Knowing her, like if you knew her, you would understand like why it was so impactful. So none of my kids said anything about me having this crown on my head, which I thought was pretty good. I'm surprised I didn't get chastised, but I decided to do a podcast episode with it on my head. I just shared my latest poem with a friend. She was impressed. It's actually pieces of it I shared on my last episode. And I'm trying to think whether it was last night or this morning. I think I finished it last night, about 1:30 in the morning. So this morning, last night. And I changed it so much. Like it went through a lot of shifts. And I'm proud of it. And I recorded it on a voice memo. And it's kind of giving, so my friend has some music people in her life and she recommended someone, but she definitely encouraged me to get my words copywritten, etc. first. And you know, she talked about this person that she knows who she felt could really do it justice. It's giving, to me, it's giving Missy Elliott. And because she just goes so hard on lyrics, man. Like, I've been listening to one of her songs a couple times, a Big Spender. Ooh, just love it. So, in the next, I hope, weeks, I will have it copywritten. I will be continuing to, I guess, wake up in the middle of the night and write poetry and turn some of them into songs, and we'll see what happens. So, my friend shared a story. She shared a story about parenting and friendship. The friendship came with her as an adult because she remembered a childhood memory that was, I would say, pretty brutal. And last night, I saved, could have been this morning because I woke up at 5. So I went to bed at 1:30-ish, 1:35, 1:40 maybe tops. And I was like, oh, great. You know, I'll get at least 5 hours because my alarm was set for like 6:30. And I woke up much earlier. I woke up, I think, at 5. I'm trying to find this message. So I saw this thing that I'm about to share, and I sent it to her as she was telling me the story, and I think I'm trying not to cry. I told someone, I said, I'm stepping into my emo era. It's because I'm so emotionally intelligent. So the story, she was very young, and she was told she needed to brush her hair, repeatedly. And there's punishments, potentially involved. And I'm not going to do the story justice. Perhaps I'll have her tell the story herself. And I'm sorry for the shaking camera. Apparently she'd taken a bath. She's a toddler. Came out, and I guess she hadn't brushed her hair properly. And so her mother held her down with scissors, pointing the scissors in her face and touching, I don't know, different parts of her, like her nose or her shoulders or whatever, screaming at the top of her lungs, "If you don't brush your hair correctly, I will cut it all off." I, as a teenager, received a punishment, which was to have my hair cut off. Don't cry. Don't cry, Melinda. My parents cut off my hair. And it was bad. It was really bad. I had just had my first home kit relaxer, either a couple weeks to a couple months prior. And so, hair is a big part of a woman's identity, especially a girl's identity. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. There were no concessions made because the instruction was very clear, and it was a silly, stupid, simple mistake. I exchanged papers with another person, and I gave the other person theirs back, but they didn't give me mine back, and so I didn't have it. It was a progress report. My parents were strict about grades. No amount of pleading or tears stopped the promise, not the threat, the promise. And so, I was taken to a salon next to a 7-Eleven. And the instructions given to the person, who was very uncomfortable, was it doesn't have to be in any particular style. And so my hair was chopped off very low and uneven, and it was bad. It's like Ronald McDonald. Just, Ronald McDonald, I think that is, I don't know, that might be giving it too much credit. So, that older version of me very much felt for the much younger version of my friend. And I sent her this thing. So this is what it says: "You either face your demons or they raise your children." I did this real voice activation thing with William Hernandez. And I highly recommend that you consider So in that, there was a sentence that was part of who I am. And anyway, you can find him at therealai.pro. If you are a person of action, then I would recommend going there. You know, initially I would, after I had the session, my husband did it as well. And for his business, I was sending it to everyone. And it was like, you know, words were my love language, one of my primary ones. And so I was just sending it to everyone, because you just need to have these words that are you, that is like your core, your essence. But I don't want to send just anyone looking for, I don't know, like a one-time pick-me-up. I would only want to send people who would utilize the information, right? And be actionable. But either way, it's a free session, 55 minutes Zoom. Do not call him while you're walking your dog. It's a serious conversation. And yeah, it's beautiful. So what I'm trying to do now is locate this word, but I think what the phrase was, I fight demons every day to love. And I don't think that I've shared that before, because I didn't want, out of my paranoia, I didn't want that used against me somehow. What does she mean she's fighting demons? Is she schizophrenic or something? No, I'm not. Promise. I'm just extra awesome. That's effing awesome. I'm extra amazing. All right. I'm trying to find it, so just pardon me. La 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 la. Fight demons. I'm using a search thing. Fight demons. Real voice. Haha. Let me see if it's in here. This conversation could not be loaded. Annoying. All right, fight demons. There we go. Boom. All right. So this is where, by the way, the phrase that I've been saying, I give with my whole heart so others can show up as their true selves, loved without limits. That's who I am at my super deep core. And here are my other ones. If my light is too bright, put on sunglasses, because I'm not going to dim it anymore. I'm not going to not shine because yo behind can't handle the light. You can look away, or you can put some shades on, or you can just move on, and that's okay. Here's another one. Here. Ha! I am no longer willing to shrink myself or dull my shine, which I basically just said. Here it is. I fight demons daily to love without hurting. I loved big. That's what I want to be remembered for. And then I show up with my whole heart so others can too. So this was my voice that was excavated by the brilliant visionary William. And yeah, I've been working with him, which has absolutely upped my game. And going on that retreat really was beneficial. I am showing up for myself in a bigger scale way, which I think is pretty obvious from my content lately. I've been writing so many poems, just so much inspiration is coursing through me, flowing through me. I'm outside instead of in the darkness of my room or the darkness of my home, willing myself to, I don't know, not do anything. So yeah, I fight demons daily to love without hurting, and that's the type of parent that I am striving to be. I don't want to hurt my kids. Of course, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to be sarcastic. Okay, so then my words. I will no longer be sarcastic. No, I'm just going to be real. Sarcasm it's in there. And sometimes it comes out. It's going to happen. Because I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not. And nor am I striving for perfection. I will make mistakes. I will continue to make mistakes. I hope to make less heinous mistakes, less splitting my children's, personas. Because I don't want my demons raising them. Yeah, I don't want my childhood traumas raising them. I don't want my childhood traumas informing them of who they are or what their value or worth is, because they are priceless. I build them up. I model apology. I get that wrong too. Having a teenager is beautiful and challenging. My son is me. Sometimes I can't even be mad at him. And sometimes I'm so mad at him, or frustrated, but he's doing the best that he can. And he's a teenager, and there's so much, right? There's so much that they're going through. Hormone changes, identity crises, discovering who they are, which in part, has to be letting you go and like being the opposite, being a contrarian. I hope he will always have that fire. I hope he will always fight for justice the way that he does for himself. He's extraordinary. So, wear your crown. Wear your crown if you want to. Men and women, they've got king crowns. Guys, go get you a crown. Like, own your power, own your magnificence. That is the message for today. Own your magnificence. All right. That's all I've got, I think. Let me just think. Am I stalling? There's some chores for me. There's some chores inside for me. And I've been doing such a good job of putting myself first above those chores. I actually did write a poem. Oh, you know what? I'm going to read you this part of the poem. What is the name of the poem? So I can find it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, because it's not meant for that. Here we go. All right. Oh, I thought I lost part of it. Okay. Wait, is this the one? No. Did I already read you the poem? Here it is. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right, I just, it's going to be the middle, right? So it may not, it's going to make sense because I'm perfectly sensible. All right, let's see. And that really helped me to let go, to set no as a firm boundary for myself, to not pursue that this go round. And I have found such peace in that. And now the peace comes from not procrastinating, though there's a bit of that lingering. When it comes to handling certain things, there's a path, one that is worn, one that I want the weeds to cover over, to never be shorn, because there's something truly new for me, and it has begun. I've already won. The voting is done. I sit out in the sun these days, and it's beautiful. No longer dutiful to the dishes in the sink. I'd let them sit there and stink, because right now it's about me and the UV lighting my caramel. Who cares about the smell? Well, some curry spilled in, it's a joy kill, and the laundry is piling and the chores are conspiring, and that's all I'm going to read. That's all I'm going to read. So I'm going to get to that laundry. That's going to be my main focus today. Some decluttering is called for as well. So I'm going to be great doing that, and I'm going to stay focused. Gosh, I'm funny. So my husband showed me it's like a trend. It's like an Instagram trend. And I had already seen it from a different creator, from a different angle. But there's a woman who leashes herself to the dishwasher so that the ADHD that she obviously must have doesn't take her away from staying in the kitchen to put away all the dishes. Because like you see something, you're like, oh, there's another cup in the other room. So you go to the other room. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. And then you start cleaning up the mess and you find a shoe and it shouldn't be there. So you put the shoe where that goes. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy too. Let me just handle it all. And then you get a phone call. And so you have to race back in the house because maybe you were in the garage, and you get the call and you're talking and it's so nice, and then you remember the dishes. So then you go over there because you can do dishes and talk on the phone, and then it just, rinse, repeat, recycle. So I'm not going to leash myself because I am unleashed. I'm an unleashed dragon, if you must know. And that, my poem that I just finished this morning, is called Dragon Lore. It's good. So stay tuned. Maybe you'll hear it soon. All right. Thank you so much for being with me. As always, I remain faithfully yours and unapologetically yours.